Hey guys, today we're going to be taking a look at the Valhalla Tactical Hanger Mount. Just got in this new mount from Valhalla Tactical. This isn't like my normal reviews where I do a full review after testing. I have not tested this. I haven't even mounted it yet, actually. But I thought this was a really cool product, a really unique product, and something I really just want to show you guys a quick overview on. So what it does is it mounts here on your cantilever mount. You put it on just like that. You're going to replace the piece that's already there with this one, and then you're going to take this base and you'll put it on like this, which, let me just show you, it'll have your optic on an angle just like that. So if you're looking down your scope and you need to rotate, you can rotate up to that. So really curious about this. I'm going to go over the install real fast. Should be pretty simple. You're just going to take this off, put this one on, and then mount it up. But I'm really curious how that's going to work, if it's going to be beneficial, how easy it's going to be to find your optic on that upside down angle, because it's going to look just like that, which it's kind of hard to show without my hand being there. But once I mount it up, we'll go over and look at it. But I'll show you guys how to install this. Let's take this guy off. Beckham's down here with me, so you might hear a little 2-year-old every once in a while.
Every time we say goodbye, they all see that it's a lie. 'Cause we always give it one last try. Yeah, you've watched me break.
All right, so we got that piece on. That's what it looks like. And I like that it's really low profile, so even if you didn't have the optic on here, for some reason you were taking it off, it still doesn't look goofy, so you can still run it like this if you absolutely have to. It's still functional, but then you want to throw this guy on. So there's 2 ways you can do it. You can either put it here, or you can put it here. So depending how your scope is set up, I'm guessing it's forward for up here as well. So we're gonna try it back here first and see how that works. There's Daddy's gun.
I'ma leave without giving a warning. I'ma leave without giving a. But every time
now we mount the optic. There. And then it did not come with screws, so I'm using the screws that I used on the actual gun. I had this optic mounted here on my Glock 19 with the Jaegerworks slide, and I'm just using the screws that came with that for now. So I'm going to contact them and ask them what kind of screws they prefer you use, because the screws that come with the optic don't work with it. All right, so there you go. That's that simple to install it. And there it is. It actually is a lot more flush and cleaner than I was thinking. I was actually thinking it was gonna stick out really, really far. But look at that, that actually sits really close to the gun. That is really cool. So I've got this lower sitting here with a SIG brace, so kind of a goofy lower, but just have it down here for right now. So let's throw this on real quick, just so we can see it on a gun. So there we go. Do this video, I just want to give you a yeah? So that's a really cool concept. That's mainly why I wanted to do this video, just to give you guys a quick overview on that. I thought it was really neat the way that just sits on the optic like that. It's really different than what you're used to. Usually if you're looking for an offset mount, you're looking at something up here or back here that comes off the rail, but this is the first one I've ever seen that comes off the side, upside down, you know, or up top, you've seen them. But upside down is very different. So couple things that I noticed. First being the fact that this cap here for your elevation and windage, try to put those words together, gets in the way a little bit, as you can see right there. So I'm gonna have to do a little playing around. Maybe I have to put it up front, but if you take that off, completely eliminates that. So that might be something I have to do and need to do a little look into that. And maybe it's just the type of scope. Some scopes might be different. And then another thing is my throw lever. When it's in the 1x position, it kind of blocks out your scope. So throw levers might be a little bit of an issue with this. So if you're going to be running something like this, the chances of you running on 1x are probably a little less, because this is going to be your 1x and this will be higher for higher magnification. But I don't really like the fact that that completely gets in the way there. So I'm going to have to do a little more testing with both of these, and maybe I'll put on a different scope and try that as well. You good? Do you want some FaceTime? Okay. So after playing around with it a little bit, it is a really quick transition to go from here to here. It's actually really easy. I wasn't finding myself searching for that optic very much. Like I said, that cap kind of gets in the way there, so I'll have to figure something out with that. But going from your LPVO up to the optic is a really quick, just turn to the head. So that is really cool. I like that about it. So after some more testing, I'm sure I'll figure some things out. So I'll be doing a full review on this after testing is complete. I'll be able to answer all your questions. If you guys have any questions about it right now, I'll try to answer them, but I'll be able to get a lot more answers for you once I actually go out, shoot this a lot, and have some fun with it. So really cool. If you guys are interested in this, check out Valhalla Tactical. I also have the Rook mount, which is one that comes off the rail here, and it's adjustable. You can go up or down. That is on my Zeus. If you guys haven't seen that, I will link up here that video on that gun. But really cool concept. I'm hoping that I can figure out a way to get that around that and around the throw lever, because I think this is something that would be really neat for a primary gun or just for a range gun. But I think something that you want to run a backup without running iron sights, I think this is a really good choice. I'd probably end up going with an RMR or a 508T, but for right now this will work. But I think those would be a better choice for like a duty style rifle. So like I said, this is not my normal review where I go over all the pros and cons, all the benefits, how testing went, because I just received it. So that video will be coming later on after I get some rounds through this. I just wanted to show you guys this design really quick because I thought it was a really cool design and I thought it was pretty unique. So I figured I'd show you guys what I'm doing. YouTube, I'm still waiting for stories to be unlocked. I've reached everything that I needed to, all my criteria. I'm just waiting for them to unlock that feature. So once that is, I'll be able to update you guys further on the products. I won't have to make a full review video on it, but I thought this one was kind of worth it. So a couple things after I've been able to actually play around with this for a little bit. The cap being in the way wasn't nearly as big as a problem as I originally thought. It doesn't actually sit in the way nearly as much when you have both eyes open, because both your eyes are being able to see two different things. So you're kind of almost not seeing that nearly as much. Kind of hard to explain, but if you know what I mean, you understand what I'm saying. So it's not nearly as big of an issue as I thought it was originally. Depending on the scope you're using, though, I talked to Valhalla Tactical, depending on what you're using, they're all gonna be different. Some caps are real far out, some caps are real close. I think it's the Vortexes that have really thin caps. You would never have an issue with those. But this one just has a really thick and wide cap, as you can see there. So it does get in the way a little bit. So not too big of a deal there. Not a deal breaker because of the fact of how quick it is. And that's the biggest benefit. I mean, the transition and rotation is so fast. I mean, with the 45 degrees, it's a little bit more of a cant because you actually have to cant the gun 45 degrees. With this one, it's almost just a slight flick to your wrist. Like, that's as far as I need to go to see that dot, which is really cool because it makes it a lot quicker. So yes, you're gonna have some downfalls because of the location and how close it is, but you're gonna have the benefits of having that really quick transition. So I don't think I'm gonna be using this for 50 to 100 yards like I would with some of the 45-degree angle mounts that I think I could, but definitely anything very close quarters, this is so quick and easy to use. So my mind could be changed after actually going out and shooting with it and having fun with it. The other thing that's annoying is obviously the throw lever gets in the way, which that's unfortunately something that you can't change, especially with even 45s might get in the way a little bit. I can't, it's hard to tell because there's not a 45 degree on this, but I never noticed that in the past with 45 degree angles, but with this one, it does get in the way a little bit. But how often are you going to be on 1x and then decide to switch to your offset? So it doesn't really make too much sense. So usually you're going to have some kind of magnification on that, and that will be out of the way. So price and what this comes like. I don't know if they're out yet. I think it's just for pre-order. Thanks to Valhalla Tactical for getting one out to me for testing. So the mount itself is going to be $55, which is nice that they split them up and separate them, because if something happens or you want to switch the actual optic, you can just get an optic plate instead of buying the whole thing. The whole thing is $80 because the plates are $25 and the mount itself is $55. So it's nice that they split that up, because most companies will make you buy both just to upgrade to a different optic. So if, say, I'm like, I don't want to use the Vortex anymore, I kind of want to upgrade to an RMR or a Hollow Sun. All I have to do is buy a $25 plate, switch the plates, and then I'm good to go. So that's really cool that they switched that up. $80 I think is a pretty good price for what it is. I mean, a lot of mounts can be a little bit more expensive. I mean, you don't want to go too cheap with these things because you want to make sure that it's a really good lockup, really tight, and it works well. I don't think you're ever going to have any issues because of the lockup that's here. I mean, you got that, it's almost like a puzzle piece that clips in, and then it's bolted to the mount, and then it's bolted to your pick rail. So I don't think you'll ever have any issues with this going unzeroed, which is cool, and I like that. So again, stuff I'll find during testing, and I'll be able to actually update you guys. But this is just kind of me speculating and giving you guys an overview. So price so far looks really good for me. We'll see what they do with that. I don't know if they'll change it going into the future here. So they've got a lot of options. I think there was like 8, maybe more plate options. So they're looking out for all the people with different optics. Some people that just want to throw this on a range toy, they might go with a cheaper route like a Vortex, or if they want this on like a duty gun, definitely go with something like an RMR or hollow sub. So if you guys are interested in these, definitely go check out Valhalla Tactical and get one for yourself. If you guys haven't seen them, I'm already testing the 45-degree angle one, the Rook that they have as well. So they're coming out with some pretty cool things. If you guys want to help me and support my channel, there's a couple ways to do that down in the description. There is Patreon, and then there's a link to my website. From there, you guys can go to other websites like Cloud Defensive, Brownells. Anything you order from there gives me a small kickback and shows those companies that I'm generating traffic, which helps a lot, and getting me new products for you guys and be able to test out new things. So if you guys do that, I really appreciate it. If not, it's not a big deal. I just appreciate you guys being here, liking, sharing, and subscribing. Another company that supports me a ton is Howitzer. I love these guys. Their shirts are awesome. I have pretty much a closet full of just their clothing because I really enjoy their stuff. I think their designs are pretty cool. And actually, I'm getting some of their plain design, which doesn't have any logos or anything, just a plain shirt. It looks really nice, and it's kind of good for if you're going out to dinner or something, you don't want, you know, logos on it, something you want to wear with khakis or jeans. It looks pretty sharp. So I'm really excited about those. And they donate 5% of proceeds to charity. They donated $200,000 last year. So it's really excited to see what they do in the next coming year. So if you guys want to check them out, link in the description below. So got a lot of things coming here at the end of the year. As most of you know, I'm starting school here soon. And my schedule is going to get really, really packed with full-time work, family, part-time work, and school, along with doing all this. So things might be a little inconsistent, but bear with me. You guys are really supportive, and I appreciate that. So thank you guys so much, and I will keep you guys updated.